Missouri tackle Armand Membou has been one of the biggest risers throughout this draft process, and after a sensational showcase at the Combine, he has positioned himself to be the first offensive lineman drafted in a few weeks. Let's dive into the tape and talk about why he should be one of the first, if not the first offensive lineman drafted when it comes to the draft, and all of these things that come down to positional advantage, whether it's right tackle or left tackle. Throw that out the window for me. I think he can play either position, but what you see initially from him is the want to be a really good run defender, or excuse me, run blocker. He can do a lot of different things for an offensive line. He can get out on double teams, get to the next level, play in wide zone. You can pull him. You can do all kinds of things. But what I like most about this is that he lines up blocks at the second level pretty well. And for teams that want to run this outside zone, wide zone concept, he can find different ways to create running lanes, and he gives running backs different looks, right? So here you see he's pushing, left arm comes in here, and then he's just going to try to get in the way, right? He's going to try and wall these defenders off as best he can, creating that run lane right there, right? You've got offensive players here showing their back to the running back. What you want to do from that, again, is create that lane for him, and that's exactly what he does. He has all different ways of getting in the way, using his body, again, turning it, showing the back to the running back, or just kind of standing there in the way of a defender. If he knows there's a wide receiver or a running back coming into the lane, he's able to move and get out of the way, all those different things that he can do. So the athleticism is all there. We know he has less than 34-inch arms, but that's not really a big problem for me specifically when you watch his tape. The effort, and again, the want to be a big physical run defender and maul people is what is there. Now, is he always going to be the mauler? No, that's not always his game, and that's not always what you're asked to do. So here again, help block down. I think he does a nice job of timing blocks to the next level. So he comes off of double teams at the right time, knowing, again, the ball is coming out this way, and you can get to the next level on the proper time. Again, you right there, that linebacker is going to be the one that can get to him first. So I'm going to do what I can to push him, and then he, again, tries to just take him out of the play completely. That's the kind of mentality and an effort I want to see from offensive tackles. You can run to his side in goal line, in short yardage. He will do his best to get underneath players and then get off the football. And obviously, one of the big things of why he was able to blow up the Combine, right, was that he ran a sub 5-second 40 at 332 pounds. He was explosive with a 34-inch vertical. Like, these measurements are all what they are, but it drives you back to the tape. It makes you want to go back and see what he can do and why he's able to test that well. If it's not there on tape, well, then maybe he just practiced very well. But we see the athleticism and the explosion, the lateral explosion. There's so many times that he was asked to get on this side of a block of a defensive lineman. These are not easy blocks to make, specifically front side or back side. But you see, again, he's a backside blocker here. They're running out, again, stretch zone to the outside. I do think he's going to fit very well in a wide zone offense. That's where you want to scheme him to. But he's doing a really nice job here, again, of hooking around and being in the way. So get over there. If I have to stop with my back to the defender, I will. So he can do a lot of different things. He can hook, he can get in the way, but that lateral explosion that he has really is an asset, not just in the run game, but being a puller, a mover, all these different areas as an offensive lineman that you need in the pass protection as well, which we will get to. And then overall, I think the only real thing about his run blocking that he needs to improve on is some landmarks, specifically at the second level. I think there are times where he's a little bit too shallow in his blocks where he'll attack like the shoulder or on the hip a little bit, like you saw with that previous play. The landmark just kind of getting in the way. For second level defenders, they can much easier get underneath those blocks to get into the backfield. But we see the torque and the power that he possesses. Again, another outside lateral explosive move where he's going to the outside and getting on that, trying to get on that outside shoulder, right? He wants to get on that outside shoulder, but what he really cares about is if he's not going to be able to, fine, I'm going to take this inside shoulder and torque, push you out of the way to create running lanes. That's one of the things that I really do appreciate. So for over these last two plays, you see the lateral explosiveness and then that willingness to be a physical blocker at the point of attack, which we know he has strength. He's able to use the 33.5-inch arms at his best, right? To stay long, not just in pass protection, but right here, again, using that push down and really crunch down on that defender, number 6 right there, and push him out of the way. So when we watch these offensive linemen, the athleticism it has to pop off, right? You have to see it. But also, when we talk about the combine numbers, you have to be able to see it on tape. So all in all, we do see the lateral explosion. We see the ability, the athleticism to get out into space, and then playing with timing from a double team aspect to be able to get and work to the next level. For run blocking, those are all there. Now, as a pass protector, I think he has some very refined hand usage paired with good footwork. He's got a variety of different pass sets he'll use and attack, just a vertical down the line. This is a vertical set. He goes straight back. He'll be more of an attack and aggressive set where he just comes at right there to the defender. And then you also have that 45 degree where sometimes you see him take an aggressive step and then get into the vertical or the 45. So he does all three things very well. And then he pairs them with good footwork into his pass set and then using his hands properly as well. So they're going to bring the tackle down here and create a little bit of a window for the defensive end to have to go through. One, it creates a better angle for the lineman as well, knowing he's got less space to have to deal with. And then you see Membou's going to get to his spot right there. You see there's that little bit of an arc, right? So he gets out initially, out, and then he's going to drop back down that way. Hand carriage is pretty good. It's not down too far. And then he stabs and keeps long, right? This is another area too. If you compare that with your footwork down this way and you stab, keep long with that outside hand, he knows that number 6 right here is trying to get around to the outside. So use your outside hand, keep your inside hand free. We want to stay away from two-hand jabs as much as possible. But you see he relocates right to the chest and kind of carries him up the arc. Obviously, this ends in a sack anyway, but you just want to see the different ways that he can win with his hands, right? Relocate, use your feet properly, get in your set, and then find a different way to maybe crunch down on that shoulder to keep trying to bend when they try to keep bending that arc to limit their speed and then give that quarterback more options out of the pocket. So those are very useful tools. The consistency with his hands and being able to laterally mirror, like you see right here, are very useful tools. Going outside, coming back to the inside, you can see right here the defensive lineman tries to come right across his face. So he goes, again, out in his pass set. We have a good pass set here. It's more of a 45. So you're going to see him try to go with his hand right here. Right there, right? He shows, he flashes, but look what he does with his inside hand. He sees the defender coming across his face at the same time. So he's going to jab. That defender sees that. He's going to try to counter it, right? And instead, he catches him with that inside hand. He's got such great peripheral vision and then anticipatory skills where you don't want to see the two-hand jab. You do see him try to power inside the shoulder and the chest right here. So he tries to, again, take this hand and pug it right in between the shoulder and the head, the helmet almost, to really try to shock him backward. And instead you see that left hand go out right at the same time, catch, feet, turn with him, and is gone. It's over. The quarterback has an area to get outside the pocket and go make something happen. So you see the anticipatory skills, the things that require pass rushers to be able to counter, right? If they're going speed to power to the outside and then instead you see a hand coming at you, you can then counter inside. He has the mirroring ability with his feet, his hips, and his hands to be able to counter those things. And I do think with the athleticism that he has, those translate from right to left as well. I think he can play left tackle in the league if that's where a team drafts him and wants him to play. I think those tools are all there. And again, getting to his spot is so important. The ball comes out really quickly here, but you see on third down, Missouri just wants to get the ball into the flat. But again, watch how quickly off the ball he is, and he's getting to his spot right before the pass rusher does. This is Boston College, you didn't actually see them rush Donovan Ezraku against him almost at all. They kept him away from Membou, and this is, again, one of the reasons. I think he's very good at absorbing power and then keeping long through his process. But then again, right here, he sees number 5 trying to really bend around the corner, and then he takes it and understands the leverage, right? You can see a better angle of this on the overhead view where he just kind of collapses on number 5 right here and just takes him to the ground, right? Understanding that leverage aspect. So all in all, you can see him kind of go from the hand relocation in the first clip to the recovery to the inside and then just kind of bearing down on an outside rush and then collapsing to the ground. All those different ways that he can win as a pass protector showcase on a consistent basis. And it makes him one of the very viable players in this class to go top 5 and really be an impact offensive lineman. And the only real thing that I want him to continue to work on is he can absorb power, but he needs to use the 2 hop a little bit more, the 2 foot hop. Instead of these 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, you see how his feet are just going back, 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 back. We don't have like a true hop step where you have both of your feet come off the ground for just a half second so you can reestablish. Instead, we see, foot fire, foot fire, foot fire, foot fire, and eventually he walks him back into the quarterback. Earlier in the rep here, I want to see him just take both of those feet and get down, right? You see that lateral mirror again, he goes outside, inside, and then power through. He stays long. Again, all of this is good. Stays long through. You want to get both of those feet up really quickly again because it helps you re-anchor and then take control. You see it all the time in the NFL with guys with that 2 foot hop step, just allowing them to re-anchor. But I do think with his thick built frame, 332 pounds, you have more than enough ability to anchor. He's got I think he doesn't need any more sand in the pants is basically what I'm saying. He can do all of that. Just use some more technique, and we're going to have no issues in that process at all. And then again, working the hands to the outside as well. This is one of the most important things. You're going to hear guys like Duke Manyweather talk about how Will Campbell can play tackle and should play tackle in the league, and I agree with him because hand usage can mitigate length concerns. 33.5-inch arms are not small, they're not short. It's more about how you use your hands, how you recover. You're going to get beat in the league. It's going to happen. Every tackle gets beat. No one has a perfect record, right? So again, this is more of the attacking issue, a situation right here. They're waiting. The rusher is trying to see what's happening here. You've got lots going on in the backfield. You got a motion player this way. You've got play action fake this way. So again, we got hands in the chest first, and then let's identify where that football is. And this is where you see, again, hand comes off, right? He initially misses a good swipe down from the defensive end, and so he relocates, opens those hips, and then gets on that outside or that inside shoulder right there, and then collapses down and torques him back towards the ground. These are the types of things that allow him to win. It's all the ways that he uses his hands that he can recover, even when you lose, right? That initial loss right there, he relocates his hands and then uses, again, that outside hand or that inside hand right here on the lower part of the back, and then he just kind of dips him down and then almost picks him up essentially, and then puts him on the ground with that right hand, helping him out. So those are so useful. All the different ways you can use hands, obviously, whether it's feigning, whether it's a snatch trap, whether it's that right there, just giving a little help in the lower back. He has all those tools at his disposal. And then again, when we talk about what's the other weapon, the footwork, the hands are all there. Again, when they come like the hands come back out, you see how he turns his hips and uses that short area explosiveness to recover. This is, in my opinion, the key to being an elite type of tackle at the next level, because we talk about how you are always going to be in a situation where you lose. But again, here's more of that aggressive set where the hands come out, they come right back. So he kind of shows hands and then he draws them right back into his body, and then he's going to flip his hips around. Look how nimble he moves. And again, his feet are firing, they're working. There's nothing bad about the way he handles this, and there's really no bad weight on him either. He moves extremely well for his size, and then just all the different ways that the feet continue to fire. There's so many impressive things about Membou that when you get into his tape, you see not just the athleticism, but the power and the hand usage, the skill, mirroring technique, and all those things that he can be as a pass protector, along with being a physical run blocker, where I think he can fit in a gap power scheme. He's going to fit best in an outside zone, wide zone, inside zone type of a system where he can work double teams, but you also see him create those lanes with using his back, using his hips, but then being able to use that athleticism to pull. And you see double, duo, and all offenses should be running everything. But I do think the majority of where you see him be at his best is in zone, where he can get out in space and then get upfield. And I love what he does, using that timing and being physical at the next level too. So there's absolutely a reason for his rise as we continue to get closer and closer to the draft. It's not just the combine. The combine should take you back to the tape, and the tape, as we're seeing, is very, very good for Armand Membou. And I think there's still some ceiling there to get out of him as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this breakdown of one of the top offensive line players in the draft, Armand Membou. If you guys are new to the TDN draft channel here, please hit that sub button right now, hit the like on the way out, and I'll see you guys next time.